Right now, as you're watching this, someone just glanced at their phone and saw 11, and they felt something. A chill, a knowing, a sense that the universe just winked at them. You felt it too, haven't you? That electric moment when the digits align perfectly, and suddenly time itself seems to pause. But what if I told you that this isn't just a coincidence? What if 11 is actually a crack in the matrix of reality? A moment when the veil between dimensions grows thin. What I'm about to reveal will change how you see time forever. Because 11 isn't just a number sequence. It's a cosmic calling card that's been hidden in plain sight for millennia. The ancient mystery schools knew this. The Pythagoreans whispered about it in their sacred circles. Carl Jung discovered it in his deepest research into the human psyche. And modern neuroscience is finally catching up to what mystics have known for thousands of years. This moment you're experiencing right now, watching this video, learning these truths, it's not an accident. You were meant to find this knowledge at exactly this moment in your spiritual journey. They tell you it's just your imagination, random coincidence, pattern recognition, gone wild. But deep down, you know there's more to it. You feel it in your bones every time those 4 ones line up. Here's what they don't teach you in school. Ancient mystery schools knew about power numbers. The Pythagoreans called numbers divine. Not just useful, not just mathematical tools, but actual divine emanations of cosmic consciousness. Carl Jung discovered that numbers carry what he called numerosity, a mystical charge that connects us directly to the collective unconscious. And the number 11? It was considered so potent that Kabbalistic texts referred to it as existing beyond the normal order of creation. In the Tree of Life, there are 10 Sephirot, 10 emanations of divine energy. But the 11th, that's Daath, hidden knowledge, the secret Sephira that exists in the gap between the conscious and unconscious mind. When you see 11, you're not just looking at a time. You're witnessing a moment when Daath, hidden knowledge, is trying to break through into your awareness. But here's where it gets really interesting. Modern science is just catching up to what the ancients always knew. Our brains are hardwired to recognize patterns, but 1111 triggers something deeper, something that connects to the very fabric of consciousness itself. The real question isn't why you see 1111. It's why you feel it. And that feeling, that's your soul recognizing a frequency it's been waiting to hear. That sudden stillness when you notice the time. That sense of being watched by benevolent forces. That knowing that something greater than yourself is trying to communicate. This isn't superstition. This is your consciousness responding to a cosmic tuning fork. Let's go deeper. In the hidden archives of numerology, 11 is called a master number. Not just any number, but a bridge between worlds. Hans Daath, one of the few who truly understood its power, wrote that 11 symbolizes the link between mortal and immortal, between human and spirit, between darkness and light, ignorance and enlightenment. Think about that. 11 is 4 ones, a quadruple amplification of the number of new beginnings, of divine spark, of pure creative force. It's like the universe is shouting, "Wake up," at the exact frequency your soul can hear. But here's what most people miss. In Kabbalistic tradition, there are normally 10 Sephira, 10 emanations of divine energy flowing from the infinite into manifestation. The 11th, that's Daath, the hidden Sephira, the secret chamber of knowledge that exists in the void between Chokmah and Bina, between wisdom and understanding. Ancient rabbis taught that Daath represents the moment when potential becomes actual, when the unknowable becomes knowable. When you see 11, you're not just looking at a time on a clock. You're witnessing a moment when the hidden dimension of reality is trying to pierce through the veil of ordinary consciousness. The ancient mystery schools of Egypt, Greece, and Babylon guarded this secret jealously. They knew that certain numerical combinations could serve as doorways, as access points to higher states of awareness. The Pythagorean Brotherhood understood that mathematics wasn't just about calculation. It was about cosmic harmony, about the musical ratios that govern the dance of planets and the rhythm of human hearts. They discovered that 11 contains within it the secret of duality transcended, of opposition resolved into unity. 1 + 1 = 2. But when those ones stand side by side in 11, they create something entirely new. A gateway, a portal, a moment when linear time bends back on itself and reveals its true nature as an eternal spiral. And modern neuroscience? It's starting to prove them right. Researchers have discovered that our brains operate on multiple rhythmic cycles simultaneously. Gamma waves, beta waves, alpha waves, theta waves, all oscillating in complex mathematical relationships that mirror the ancient sacred geometries. When these brain rhythms align in certain patterns, consciousness expands, time perception shifts, the boundaries between self and cosmos begin to dissolve. If you're feeling the truth of these words resonating in your chest right now, you're not alone. Thousands of awakening souls are discovering these hidden connections every day. Make sure you're subscribed, because what I'm about to share about the psychological mechanics of 1111 will transform how you understand the nature of reality itself. Here's where modern science meets ancient wisdom in the most shocking way possible. Carl Jung, the man who mapped the human psyche like an explorer charting unknown territories, discovered something called synchronicity, meaningful coincidences. But Jung went deeper than most people realize. He noticed that numbers, especially master numbers like 11, seem to appear at crucial moments in people's lives, carrying messages from what he called the collective unconscious. Jung documented case after case of patients who would encounter specific number patterns during pivotal moments of psychological transformation. A woman dreaming of the number 80, then finding it mentioned in an astrological text the next day, leading to a breakthrough in her therapy. A man seeing 444 repeatedly during a period of career crisis, each sighting coinciding with opportunities that led him toward his true calling. But here's what Jung really discovered that they don't tell you in psychology textbooks. Our brains operate on what scientists now call ultradian rhythms, roughly 90-minute cycles that govern everything from sleep patterns to attention spans to creative insights. These natural rhythms can unconsciously draw our attention to specific times, creating what appears to be supernatural awareness, but is actually your nervous system sensing with cosmic cycles. Your brain is literally programmed to notice 11, 11. There's something called apophenia, your mind's incredible ability to find patterns in chaos, to extract meaning from randomness. Evolution designed this capacity because pattern recognition kept our ancestors alive. But with 11, 11, something else is happening. Every time you see those 4 ones align, your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine, the neurotransmitter of reward and recognition. You're literally being biochemically rewarded for noticing this pattern. It's not random. It's not imagination. Your consciousness is being trained to recognize a specific frequency of cosmic communication. And this is where it gets really wild. The frequency illusion, what psychologists call the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, means that once you start noticing 1111, you see it everywhere. Your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters incoming information, begins to prioritize 1111 sightings. But what if that's not a bug? What if it's a feature? What if 11 is designed to create an awakening cascade in your awareness, each sighting building on the last, until your consciousness reaches a critical mass of recognition? Let's go deeper still. Ancient texts that survived the burning of the Library of Alexandria contain references to what they called temporal portals, moments when the normally rigid structure of time becomes fluid, malleable, responsive to consciousness itself. The Hermetic texts speak of as above, so below, the idea that patterns in the heavens reflect patterns in human consciousness, that the macrocosm of the universe mirrors the microcosm of the individual soul. 11 isn't just a time. It's a reflection of cosmic order manifesting in your daily reality, a moment when the abstract mathematics of creation becomes visible in the concrete world of clocks and calendars. But here's what the ancient mystery schools really understood. Numbers aren't just symbols. They're vibrational frequencies, resonant patterns that exist at the intersection of matter and consciousness. When you see 11, you're not just processing visual information. You're resonating with a specific harmonic frequency that exists at the crossroads of time and awareness. Nikola Tesla knew this. The man who harnessed electricity and dreamed of wireless power transmission understood that reality itself operates on numerical harmonics. He said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Tesla's laboratory notebooks, now housed in secret archives, contain references to what he called temporal resonance points, moments when the Earth's electromagnetic field aligns with consciousness in ways that open doorways to expanded perception. And 1111? It's one of the most powerful harmonics in the cosmic symphony. Modern quantum physics is starting to catch up to what these visionaries knew centuries ago. The observer effect shows us that consciousness itself affects reality at the quantum level. When you notice 11, when you become the observer of that moment, you're literally participating in the creation of meaning. You're not just seeing a pattern, you're helping to weave it into existence through the act of conscious observation. The double-slit experiment proved that reality exists in a state of quantum superposition until consciousness collapses the wave function into a single outcome. Every time you see 1111, you're collapsing infinite possibilities into one moment of recognition, one instance of cosmic connection. But here's what most people don't realize. The real power of 1111 isn't in seeing it. It's in what happens next. because that moment of recognition, it's just the beginning of a much deeper process of awakening. Now, here's where ancient wisdom becomes modern transformation. Every time you see 11, your consciousness is being offered a choice. You can dismiss it as coincidence, or you can use it as a gateway to heightened awareness. The Pythagoreans had a practice they called sacred observation, the art of recognizing divine patterns in everyday experience. When they encountered powerful number combinations, they would pause, breathe deeply, and ask themselves, what is my soul trying to tell me right now? This wasn't superstition. This was applied metaphysics, a technology for connecting with higher states of consciousness. Here's how you can harness the true power of 11. First, when you see it, stop. Don't just make a wish like some internet meme suggests. This isn't a magic lamp. It's a consciousness alarm clock, a wake-up call from your higher self. Take 3 deep breaths and ask yourself, what am I meant to notice right now? What pattern in my life is this moment illuminating? What message is trying to break through from my unconscious mind? Second, observe your thoughts in that exact moment. Jung discovered that synchronicities often occur when our conscious mind is wrestling with important decisions or transitions. What was running through your mind just before you saw 11? That's not random. That's your psyche using the language of numbers to highlight something that needs your attention. Maybe you were thinking about a relationship that's causing you stress. Maybe you were contemplating a career change. Maybe you were wondering about your spiritual path. The moment of 11 recognition is your soul's way of saying, pay attention to this. Third, track the pattern over time. Keep a simple note in your phone every time you see 11 and record what's happening in your life, what you're thinking about, what challenges you're facing. Within a month, you'll start to see the real pattern, and it's not about the numbers. It's about the moments of your life when your soul is trying to communicate with your conscious mind about the direction you need to go. The ancient oracles of Delphi understood this principle. They knew that divination wasn't about predicting the future. It was about reading the messages your higher self is constantly sending through the language of synchronicity, symbols, and signs. 11 is your personal oracle, speaking in the language of time itself, offering guidance encoded in the rhythm of your daily experience. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe, experiencing itself subjectively through the lens of individual consciousness. And 11, it's a reminder of that cosmic unity, a moment when the illusion of separation dissolves, and you remember your true nature as pure awareness temporarily focused through human experience. When you see those 4 ones aligned, you're witnessing the mathematical signature of consciousness, recognizing itself. The number 1 represents the unified field of awareness, the divine spark, the singular source from which all multiplicity emerges. 4 ones together, that's consciousness amplified to the 4th power. Awareness becoming aware of its own awareness in a recursive loop of recognition that creates what mystics call enlightenment. This is why seeing 11 feels different from seeing any other time. You're not just observing a clock. You're witnessing a moment when the cosmic code becomes visible in your personal reality, when the abstract mathematics of creation reveals itself in the concrete world of everyday experience. The ancient alchemists had a saying, as above so below, as within so without. 11 is proof that this principle is operating in your life right now. The patterns of cosmic consciousness are reflecting in the patterns of your personal experience. The rhythm of your individual awakening is synchronized with the rhythm of universal evolution. And here's the most beautiful part. The more you recognize these moments of cosmic connection, the more they appear. Not because you're becoming superstitious, but because you're becoming conscious. You're training your awareness to recognize the sacred in the ordinary, the eternal in the temporal, the infinite in the finite. This is what the mystery schools called waking up inside the dream. You begin to see that what you thought was random is actually orchestrated. What you thought was meaningless is actually saturated with purpose. What you thought was separation is actually profound connection. 11 isn't just a sign from the universe. It's a sign that you are remembering who you really are beyond the temporary identity of name and form. If this knowledge has awakened something in you, I want to hear about it. Because you're not alone on this journey of awakening. There are others who are seeing through the veil, recognizing the patterns, remembering the truth of their cosmic nature. The ancient mystery schools taught that knowledge shared multiplies, that wisdom transmitted creates geometric expansion of consciousness. Every person who understands the true meaning of 1111 becomes a tuning fork, resonating at a frequency that helps others remember their own connection to the infinite. Next time you see 1111, don't just make a wish. Make a choice. Choose to be present. Choose to be conscious. Choose to remember that you are both the observer and the observed, the seeker and the sought, the question and the answer. Choose to recognize that this moment of numerical synchronicity is actually a moment of cosmic communion, a brief opening in the fabric of ordinary reality through which the light of pure consciousness shines. And if this video has helped you see 1111 in a new light, if you felt the truth resonating in these words like a bell struck in the depths of your soul, write "The veil is lifting" in the comments below. Share your 1111 experiences. Tell us about the moments when time seemed to pause and the universe seemed to speak directly to you. Connect with others who are walking this path of awakening, this journey from unconsciousness to consciousness, from separation to unity, from fear to love. Because every time you choose consciousness over coincidence, every time you choose meaning over randomness, every time you choose connection over separation, you're helping to lift the veil, not just for yourself, but for all of humanity. The universe is speaking. The cosmos is calling. The divine is reaching through the language of numbers and time to remind you of who you really are. The question is, are you ready to listen? Are you ready to remember? Are you ready to wake up? Until next time, keep your eyes open, your heart aware, and remember, in a world of infinite possibilities, there are no coincidences, only synchronicities waiting to be recognized, patterns waiting to be decoded, messages. Selam, kadim bilgilara yecilari, pont.